Hello guys, Spino here. So it's gonna be a quick tier list on the units that you should be focusing on 3.7 patch. I think there's a total of 7 characters and all of them are pretty strong. So it's gonna be from a meta point. I will give you the value of the character and their icons because why not? You know, they're also coming with it. So yeah, let's go into it. I want to keep this video as short as I humanly can. So you know, you don't need to get bored by me yapping. So let's go with the main character, I guess, from Cyrene. She's gonna be a B tier. Just not worth it in my opinion, just because there are units that are just better than her at doing what she does in lesser cost. It's just Cyrene is just way too expensive. Literally locked behind E2. So if you want to get her to her, max potential, you need her goddamn E2. Without E2, she's like really bad. Like her ulti has a really big impact, but it's gonna take at least 2 cycles outside her main team being Mono Remembrance. That's the only reason why she's on the B tier. If she was bad on Mono Remembrance at E0, then I would have dropped her on probably a D tier or F tier. But she's good on Mono Remembrance at E0, but that's the only team she's good at. And the rest of the teams, if you want to run her with any other Chryso hair team, you need E2. And her signature is god awful, so yeah, she doesn't even have any good icons to abuse. So yeah, she's bad. She's just bad. Okay, her design is good. Character kit, absolutely bad. Plus, she has a dog shit skin. You know what? She's C tier. She has a paid to win skin. Yeah, I'm just kidding. B tier, I think. Yeah, E0, B tier. But E2, I think top, probably like a A tier because, even then she has problems in my opinion. It's just way too expensive in my opinion. Hyacinth, yeah. I hate that character, okay? I hate Hyacinth, but when it comes to meta, when it comes to being one of the best units, she does her job. She's arguably the best sustainer at E0, not even close, okay? If somebody tells Danny is better than her, that guy is dreaming. Unfortunately, at the moment, she is still better than Danny, and she is still the best sustainer at E0. Plus, she has one of the best teams right now, being the HP train team. Also, she has one of the most broken Lycons in the goddamn game, so yeah, I don't need to explain too much. Hyacinth's broken. If you don't have her, try to get her. If you hate her like me, don't get her and save for Edo Star, because let's just be honest. There's gonna be a sustainer in Edo Star that's gonna power creep her ass, so you know what? We just wait. Now, my day is weird in my opinion. I think my day is in the same boat as Cyrene here. His team is just too expensive. And if you go with this generic hyper carry team, that team is not gonna do any damage. I'm gonna be honest. The hyper carry Mida team with Sunday and stuff will not keep up with the current content. But if you go for the current premium team with Cyrene, Zyrhydra, and Hyacinth, because you're running Cyrene, so you're locked to her no matter what, because you need Chryso hair and a Memo Stride user. So yeah. Unfortunately, Hyacinth also have Andy synergy with Maide because she can't keep up with the goddamn HP train from Maide. So it's like a lot of problems with the team. It's just too expensive. Well, the only good thing he has going is his Lycon is like one of the most broken signatures for a character. So there's that. So if you're a Maide main, your team is expensive, but the whole team is almost on reruns. So there is that. And his signature is broken for him. So that's one thing. But otherwise, I would not recommend Maide to anyone, especially a new player. It's just way too expensive, man. Now, Cassie is A. I think Cassie is solid. I would not say she's S tier because her team is expensive. If you want to clear a Cassie on the current patch, you have to have minimum Tribbeam, Hyacinth, and RMC, and maybe Cassie with signature because you minimum need them to have a decent cycle. If you want a 0 cycle stuff, I think you still need Evernight because Evernight's value is just too good on a Cassie team. And with Cyrene maybe introducing also, she's also going to get buffed from Cyrene, so you can also abuse it. But you can see her team is a little bit expensive. Her Lycon choice, you don't have much Lycon choice besides her signature and the Battle Pass one. Otherwise, you have to get a high base HP Lycons, but then you're not going to get the passive. It's just there's a little bit problem with it, but I think she's better than Maide at the moment. At least she has some, options. And at least her synergy with these units are actually better, considering Maide has anti-synergy with the units he's going in, just because he doesn't have any, special characters. I think Cassie is solid, eh? I'm not gonna hate on her too much. I kinda like her still, so it is what it is. Now, fine on. I think Final is so good. Do I want to put him on S tier? Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna put him on S tier. I think both Finon and Cassie are solid DPS choice. I think I will recommend Finon at the moment because some of the bosses from the next patch is gonna be single target where Finon excels way better in my opinion. Plus Finon's team is slightly more cheaper in my opinion. You don't need Siren or stuff like that. I think the biggest character you need is I think Siraidra. I think Siraidra increases the damage so much and maybe Sunday for the consistency, right? You already have Danny for free, so the team is a little bit cheap. The Lycon, he has pretty decent F2P options from the Herda Lycon shop and stuff like that. You don't need his signature, but his signature is also good. I think Finon is always going to be a better choice for a new player than Cassie, just because I said Cassie teams are a little bit expensive, a little bit restrictive, while Finon's, teams are a bit cheaper and he's not that restrictive in my opinion. His gameplay is not that fun for some people because you are kinda locked into this action speed because of his ultimate and stuff, but I think he's a solid DP. I think nobody should be mad about him. And the reason I didn't put him on S tier is just he just doesn't give the same value of the other units in my opinion. That's the main reason, okay? Tribi. Do I even have to talk about Tribi? I think we all know what she does and why she's there, and she is the best choice. If you don't have Tribi on your account, get her. If you already have a Tribi, try to get her E1. It's really good. You don't need Lycons because you just put a DDD on her because that's her signature weapon. So yeah, move on. It's Tribi, so she's S tier. That's it. Cypher, top tier, debuffer, solid H plus. I mean 8 tier. Unfortunately, she's not S tier because Hoyoverse hated her so much they had to nerf her fucking 10 bajillion times. But hey ho, she's still a solid unit. She's still a solid debuffer. Plus, she arguably has the best Lycon in the goddamn game for a 5-star. So yeah, and it's also disgustingly versatile for a Nihility path. So there is that. But I think the only problem with Cypher currently is, her teams are not that versatile. But the teams that she go in, like the Archer teams, the other teams, she just get outshined by Tribi. If Tribi never existed, I'm telling you, Cypher's value would have been so much higher. But Tribi exists, so yeah, Cypher's value is going to be a little bit lower. But still a solid choice in my opinion. Nobody's going to get any regret getting Cypher. The only problem is if you can afford the Lycon, afford it. It's really good for Cypher, and it's really one of the most versatile Nihility Lycons you can have on your account. So yeah, that's for Cypher. And that's all the characters done. So the characters, I think the most valuable character is going to be Tribi. Hyacinth, no doubt, supports rule the HSR franchise, so we all know it. And for DPSs, I think Finon is going to be the best choice, just because the team cost. Also, this will depend on your account, because some characters might, some accounts might already have a Hyacinth and and a freaking Cassie lying around, so you just maybe get a flipping Siren and have fun, I guess, because it's still good for Mono Remembrance team, okay? Siren is still solid for Mono Remembrance, but for other teams, her value is just low. That's why I put Siren on Peach. It's not like I hate her, it's just her kid is just dog shit. That's the reason, okay? Now for Lycons. You don't need, okay, you know what? That Lycon is D tier. You don't need that Lycon. Unfortunately, Tribi, actually no, there's another Lycon that's worse than her, so. The thing about Tribi Lycon is it's a solid 5-star Lycon, but you don't need it because DDD exists, so. If you get power crept by a 4-star Lycon, I mean, you're kinda useless, right? So, you don't need that Lycon. It's kinda unusable on most of the characters besides Tribi. And then Tribi prefers DDD anyway, so. Yeah, forget about that Lycon ever existing, and move on. Hyacinth Lycon. I think it's gonna be top A. But she's so good at abusing it, and she's a sustainer. I hate it. Fuck it. Okay, Hyacinth Lycon, so if you guys don't know what it does, it's the best choice for Hyacinth, because it's her signature. It gives a disgusting amount of damage bonus, it gives a lot of speed for the, the user itself, and it has a HP drain function that's like really neat for HP drain teams, But this Lycon is also best in slot for a lot of teams that Hyacinth goes in, like freaking, it has disgusting synergy with Evernight, Cassie, even the goddamn Siren, unfortunately. Yeah, you can literally put this Lycon on Siren and have more value, unfortunately, than her signature. It's kind of dumb, but yeah. And the only reason it's not S tier because Hyacinth is the one using it, and Hyacinth is a flipping sustainer, so you're gonna use her in almost every single team, and she can literally abuse this Lycon, so yeah, it's kind of broken. I don't know what else to say, you know. I just don't know, so I'm just gonna put it there. Cassie Lycon, solid B tier. Now, why is it B tier? It's technically, unfortunately, B tier because only Cassie and Evernight can abuse it to the maximum. Okay, that's it. 2 characters can abuse it, and outside that, this Lycon is kind of useless. When you go for a DPS Lycon, you want this Lycon to be useful on multiple characters rather than just best in store for one character. Simply, you want versatility, unless you're sustainer like Hyacinth, and you can go into every single team. So, yeah, that's the reason why it's B tier. Discussing Lycon for Cassie, but you can kind of run Cassie without her Sig too. But it's still a solid pick, but I don't think it's like a crazy pull. Same goes for Maida Lycon. Disgusting Lycon for Maida himself. It's like 25 to 30% damage boost, I think. And you can also use this Lycon on someone like Jingliu and Blade and get almost the same value. Actually, on Jingliu, you get the same value, I think. On Blade, I don't know sure because I don't know much about Blade. But again, the same thing. You can only abuse it on 3 people. Outside those 3 people, this Lycon value is kinda low, so you don't want it on your account mainly. Simply the versatility is kinda low, unless you're a HP draining destruction unit, But has some really good base stats though, so that is that. Now, final Lycon, solid A tier. Disgusting on this character, but unfortunately his Eidolons are just broken. But you can use this Lycon on almost any single destruction unit and get the value because it gives you defense down and everything. And as everyone should know, defense down on HSR is kind of broken, and it has I think it's like a highest base attack. So every destruction unit likes to have high base attack. So besides Maida, I think he likes to have high HP. But even then, he also likes attack, I think. But everything I said is a solid Lycon. Okay, it's just a broken Lycon. You can put it on almost every single destruction unit. Besides HP drainers, it has really good stats. Like I think when it comes to DPS Lycons, this is one of the better DPS Lycons after Herda and maybe Jingyuan. So solid DPS Lycon, but I would recommend Finon's Eidolons just because it's just his Lycon. I mean his Eidolons are just more broken than his Lycon, but I think everything about Finon is kind of broken. I'm gonna rank that shit last. I don't even want to talk about it. Best Lycon in the game. I will fight anyone for it. One of the best Lycons. Actually, no, I think it is the best Lycon in the game at the moment. Cypher's Lycon, as we all know, you can use this Lycon on every single Nihility unit in the game. Gives disgusting speed, gives you defense down, gives you vulnerability, and the best thing is, almost every Nihility unit can proc its effect without much difficulty. You don't need much, and you can literally proc its effect, get full value for the Lycon, and that's all you need. Like, you can get a full value of a Lycon for multiple characters on the same path, of course. I think that's a GG. And this Lycon on Cypher is kind of game breaking or like account changing in my opinion. The best Lycon at the moment. Anyway, in my opinion, okay, don't come and try to kill me. Shit here again. Do I want to talk about Cyrene's Lycon? I guess I'll talk. So Cyrene Lycon got nerfed, I think 2 times. They tried to buff it, but it didn't change much. So TLDR, if you wanna proc its full effect, full buff, and the defense, the vulnerability it gives you, you need E1 Cyrene. Yeah, without E1 Cyrene, you are not proccing the flipping signatures full value. Just imagine a Lycon. If you wanna have full value, you need an Eidolon. I think that's all sass about the Lycon. Otherwise, it has a disgusting amount of speed and that's it. But the thing is, like I said, Cyrene can technically run Hyacinth Lycon, and she can run Hyacinth Lycon to its max potential. So, do you need this Lycon if you already have a Hyacinth Lycon lying around? No. So yeah, this Lycon is garbage. Don't pull on it, please. Please, if you're a Cyrene main, just get a flipping Hyacinth Lycon and just be happy. I'm not even kidding. That Lycon is better than this God forsake garbage. So this is the tier list for 1 point. Why am I saying 1 point? I'm so brain dead. 3.7 patch. So yeah, these are the characters that you should be focusing if you're like a meta slave or you like it. Otherwise, pull the characters you like, enjoy the game because there's power creep, there's everything. So yeah, if you don't care about endgame clearance, just pull what you want. Like literally. But if you want to clear in game, pull the meta characters because you need help. Because let me tell you, the next fucking MOC is gonna have fucking 40 million health, I think. So good luck, guys, and have a great day and be safe out there. Bye. Love you all.